After getting stranded on a deserted planet, Captain Lightyear is determined to fix his mistake and help everyone get back to Earth. Buzz Lightyear is the most renowned and talented space ranger. He's always admired for his unbeatable skills in space exploration, but his one mistake changes his life forever. Buzz lands on a newly discovered planet along with a team of other space explorers. He gets out of the ship with his best friend and exploration partner, Alicia. The planet seems to have no life forms, so Buzz keeps moving forward. Alicia reminds him of the new boy in their team and asks Buzz to train him. Buzz totally hates the rookies. He feels so proud of himself that every low-skilled person feels useless to him. As they move a little further, a bunch of monstrous vines attack them, followed by a few other deadly species. Buzz and Alicia rush toward the spaceship and succeed in getting on it in time. But then they hear the helping call from the rookie. He has stuck under the vines. Being the head of the mission, Buzz must ensure everyone's safety, so he has to go back to save the rookie. Buzz carries the boy on his shoulders and runs back to the spaceship. He hardly makes it back in time and instructs Alicia to get ready for their flight. A huge cliff is right in front of them, and it's impossible to cross over it. Alicia asks Buzz multiple times about his plan, but Buzz is confident of his flying skills. He almost crosses the cliff, but the spaceship slightly hits the cliff and gets damaged at the worst spot. Their fuel crystal is completely destroyed and they can't reach home without it. Buzz's confidence shatters into pieces and he blames himself for the failure. He even aborts from the mission and gets ready to face the punishment. Alicia cheers him up and believes that there's still a solution. They need to collect resources from this planet and design a new fuel crystal. Within just a year, the exploration team constructs a whole space station and gets ready to test their fuel crystal. Buzz is going to perform the test drive. He gets on the plane and activates his AI assistant. The target is to drive successfully around the sun and return back at the speed of light. The whole journey will only take 4 seconds. Buzz successfully loops around the sun, but his engine fails on the way back. He almost got lost in space and hardly makes it back to the space station. Though it was just a few minutes, the planet seemed different and the staff was quite surprised to see Buzz. Alicia greets him and informs him that 4 years have already passed since he was gone. She even found her true love and got engaged. This is due to space-time dilation. The faster he flies, the further he will travel in the future. Alicia suggests that Buzz should rest for a while until they perfectly develop the fuel crystal. He can't keep wasting 4 years for every test drive. Alicia also gives him a robot cat named Socks to provide him some company. Socks is quite an efficient robot, but Buzz doesn't want to talk to it either. He still can't get over his mistake. He must fix it somehow. Socks tries to cheer him up, but all Buzz wants to complete his mission. He keeps doing the test drive, and it always takes several years. 66 years pass like this. Alicia has a son and even a granddaughter. Everyone moved on except Buzz. He's still young and guilty. After his last drive, even Alicia is not there to welcome him. She died already of old age, and another commander replaced her. The space station has closed this crystal fuel mission too. They have decided to keep living on this planet. Despite their decision, Buzz blames himself for everything and still wishes to fix it. As soon as he gets home, Socks informs him that it has fixed the error in the development of crystal fuel. It's definitely going to work this time. It took 62 years, but now it's ready. Buzz gets really excited and looks forward to his final test drive. Before he can take the next step, the security gets at his door and wants to take Socks into custody. The robot has been stealing valuable information from the space labs to work on the crystal fuel. Buzz requests to shut down the robot by himself, and he takes this as a chance to escape with Socks. They rush to the lab and recreate the crystal fuel. They hide from the security and sneak into a spaceship. Socks helps in starting the engine, and Buzz flies out of the planet. He takes a smooth round around the sun and comes back successfully. He completed the mission and looks forward to taking everyone back to Earth. As soon as Buzz lands, he fires a flare gun to inform his mates. He tries communicating with the station but gets no response. Suddenly, someone pulls him to hide away. Meanwhile, a creepy robot takes away Buzz's spaceship. The one who saved Buzz is a young girl named Izzy. She's the granddaughter of Alicia and grew up the last 22 years when Buzz was away. The robots and their leader Zurg came here on a ship and attacked this planet a week ago. The main population was protected by a laser shield, but the announcement was so sudden that Izzy and her friends could not make it back home in time and got stuck outside. Izzy takes Buzz to meet her team. It consists of a young man named Morrison and an old lady named Darby. Buzz assumes that Izzy is a professional space ranger like her grandma and her team must be the best. Izzy explains his current plan of destroying Zurg's ship, but they needed a pilot for this and now they have Buzz. While Buzz is eagerly hearing everyone, someone knocks hits at the doors. It's the same robot from Zurg's ship. It captures Buzz and the others rush to help him. However, none of them have a proper weapon or any defense skills. They are literally a bunch of losers. Buzz saves himself somehow and decides to destroy Zurg's ship alone. He hates rookies anyway. He gathers the explosions and asks Izzy's robot to find the nearest ship. Unfortunately, the robot is useless too. Buzz takes Izzy and her friend's help to reach the space station. From there, he wants to move forward alone. The station is full of monstrous insects, but they are hibernating now. Buzz makes it to the lab and wears his space uniform after a long time. Little did he know the rookies have followed him too. Buzz starts to scold them and Morrison creates a sharp noise. This wakes up the insects from their hibernation and they attack the humans. Buzz gives the rookies some uniforms and weapons so they can get back while using the invisible feature. While Buzz rushes to the nearby ship, the invisibility timer runs out before the rookies safely get out. Buzz gestures to them to run away faster, but Izzy assumes he's calling them, so she takes her team to the ship. Buzz is left with no option other than to travel along with the rookies. The insects have covered the whole ship, so Buzz flies really high towards space. Izzy starts to get dizzy because she's afraid of space. Despite that, she wishes to be a space ranger. One of Zurg's ships is also following them and shoots continuously. Buzz makes an emergency landing on the ground and damages his ship. It needs a coil to balance the capacitance. Izzy notices an abandoned mining facility nearby, and it may have the equipment they need. As they get in the facility, Morrison accidentally triggers the security and everyone gets trapped under slimy tubes. Buzz figured out how to deactivate the tubes, but he needs to work in a team for that which Buzz literally hates. He gets against his will and works together with the rookies to turn off the tunes. It also destroys the rest of Control and the facility starts falling down. Buzz rushes to grab the coil he needed, but he almost falls down. Luckily, Izzy grabs him and pulls him back. Afterwards, they sit down to have a quick meal. Morrison is still in trauma because of his mistake that almost killed them. To cheer him up, Buzz shares his own story. He was not born perfect. It took him years to master space exploration, and his biggest goal is to complete his last mission. Alicia believes that Buzz is the strongest space ranger and he'll get them back to Earth. Therefore, Buzz has to keep going. However, Izzy doesn't agree. Alicia doesn't want another life on Earth. She lived her best moment on this planet already. She married and had kids. Everyone else lived their lives too. The only one who didn't is Buzz. His guilt destroyed him the most. Buzz doesn't respond and wants to get back to the ship, but the robots attack again. They have come especially for Buzz. The poor space ranger gets on the ship immediately and divides the tasks among his team. The ship needs a few minutes before the proper flight and it keeps hovering around. The crystal fuel accidentally falls out and Buzz rushes to get it. Izzy tries to help but accidentally lets the robot teleport with the crystal. Buzz feels defeated and asks everyone to leave him alone. However, the robot comes again and takes away Buzz. It presents him in front of Zurg. The man inside the robotic disguise seems really familiar. It's actually no other than Buzz himself. He came from the future. When the old Buzz landed back after the successful flight, the new commander tried to arrest him. To escape the consequences, the old Buzz flew hundreds of years in the future and brought back highly advanced technology. He ran out of crystal fuel to go back further in the past and got stuck here. But now the young Buzz has the fuel, and they can go back to the time when they hadn't even landed on this planet. Before they can execute the plan, the young Buzz remembers about the beautiful life Alicia created on this planet. He has no right to take that away. The old Buzz doesn't agree and tries to force his younger self. Luckily, the old Sox helps the younger Buzz and he runs away with the fuel. Meanwhile, Izzy and her team have reached the spaceship using the teleporting device the robots left behind. Morrison and Darby look after the ship while Izzy rushes to find Buzz. She must float through the space to reach the other end of the spaceship. Izzy gets over her fear and jumps in the space. After a long struggle, she finally gets on the ship and helps Buzz escape Zurg. Before going, Buzz puts the ship on self-destruction mode. He runs back to his ship, but the crystal fuel accidentally drops. While getting it back, Buzz gets separated from his team and drives another ship. Zurg is still following him, so Buzz ejects into his spacesuit. He gives up on the crystal fuel and helps his team's ship land back safely. They travel back to the planet and meet the commanders. Surprisingly, they have no intention of arresting Buzz. All they want is Buzz's help in creating their defense team against the intruders like Zurg.